Hi everyone, just wanted to do a quick demonstration on how to select data from a table in databases. For this example, I will be using SQL Server, and the tool I'm using right now is SQL Server Management Studio. And what I'm using here is the AdventureWorks 2016 database. So let's get started here. The basic syntax for a select statement is as follows. Now, before we run an actual example, let's kind of understand what exactly this is telling us. Now, the way I like to see it is, the select tells you that you're reading the query. You're not inserting data, you're not deleting data, you're basically just reading data from a table. That's what the select clause here represents. Next, we have the little asterisk symbol. This represents the property or the column of the table or the columns of the table that we're looking to retrieve. The from followed by the table name or the view or whatever your source might be tells you where exactly you want to pull this data from. So let's do a live example. Within this database, we have the table called product. Production.product. So let's go ahead and run this query. Again, what this is telling you is that I want to read all of the columns from this table. And that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to give you all the available columns, all the data that's within that database, within that table, I should say, and provide it to you. So, for instance, suppose we wanted to just know the name and the product number of the product and not all of the columns. We can go ahead and just type in those column names and retrieve just those columns as follows. Select name and product number from the table. And once I execute that, you'll see that I only get the two columns that I've specified up here. Again, the asterisk we saw represented all columns. Alright, so far so good. Thus far, we've been able to identify which columns we want to see. But what if we want to specify a certain criteria or, filter out certain rows so that we only see the data that we're interested in? This is our entire table. These are all the columns. But let's say we only wanted to see products, that are of color black, for instance. The way we do that is the where clause. This comes after the table name. It's very important that we maintain, the same order of these operations. You select from, select whichever columns you're interested in from the table, and then that's where the criteria comes in afterwards. So the where tells us we want to see all these columns, but we only want to see data where, or whatever your criteria might be. For instance, where color, we would say, equals, and then within single quotes, because black, it's a varchar. So what we want to do is you have to encase it in single quotes. So now what we're saying is I want to read the name and the product number, and just for the sake of validation, also the color. Tell me the name, the product, and the color of the products, of all the products, only where the color is black. And now you'll see we only have 93 rows as opposed to previously we had about 504. Now, moving along, what if we wanted to add additional criteria and not just, look at the color black? We could do that as well. Just as any other programming language, we have what are called logical operators. Of course, that's the and, or, additional statements that, we're not going to cover in this video, but just for the sake of argument. So, let's say one of our criteria was that the color must be black. And then let's say we also wanted to make sure that the safety stock level had to be over 1,000. So what we would say is the color equals black, and the safety stock level, let's say, has to be greater than 1,000. And again, just for the sake of validation, I'm going to add safety stock level so we could see the data in this column, just to verify. Of course, this is not necessary. I'm just doing this so it's easier for you to kind of visualize what's going on here. So let me go ahead and run this. And what this is telling us is that no records were retrieved such that the color is black and the safety stock level is over 1,000. Now I'm not sure, but maybe 1,000 was the maximum. So let's try and set this equal to 1,000. So now we're saying, give me all the records, give me the name, product number, color, and safety stock level of all products where the color is black and the safety stock level is 1,000. Let's go ahead and try and run this. Great, so we've got one result. So this product is the only product in that table where the color is black and the safety stock level is 1,000. But let's say we wanted to know, all products where the color is black or the safety stock level is 1,000. We could simply type in OR, and of course I would expect to see a lot more results now. And there you have it. So again, these are all the products that are either of color black or have the safety stock level of 1,000. So yeah, this pretty much covers the very, very, very basic, fundamental understanding of a select statement. Just to do a quick overview once again, a typical select query would look like this. You have the select, the identifier of which columns you're interested in, or you could put an asterisk to kind of, say, hey, I want to see all the columns. The from, and then the table name, whatever the table name might be. And if you have a criteria, you would put a where clause afterwards, and then whatever your criteria might be. Now it's not necessary to break it down into different lines like I did here. It's just easy, it's just easier to visualize if you ever have to debug the code or kind of look at what you did or what you're doing. But it is, however, important to keep these clauses in the same order, because that's how SQL works. You can't put the where before the from. You have to put it in the same order that you see here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. If so, please leave a like. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, recommendations, anything like that, please leave that in a comment below. And yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. See you in the next one.